All right, it is Friday at 11. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, it looks like it is. How you doing? I'm Natalie of So Hungry Hippie. And if you're here, feel free to comment and say hi. The replay will always be available. If you have to duck out sooner than this finishes, that's totally fine. Do your thing. Oh, hi. Hi, Amy. If you grant StreamYard permission to see you, I can see your name. If you're over on YouTube watching, I won't be able to see your name, but I'll comment after this is done. All right, today I am going to show you the way I paper piece. And this quilt behind me, which is not finished yet, is all paper pieced. And you wouldn't know it to look at the front, but what this allows is extreme precision, and I call it kind of like mindless sewing, because once you get going and you get in this rhythm, you can just put on a Netflix show and paper piece to your heart's content, and everything is perfect. Like your seams are right on, as long as you're sewing on the line. Oh, hi Debbie, hi Linda, hi Loretta. Two Debbies. Hi. I am going to show you the way I do it. I finally taught myself how to shut off the lights. So I'm going to zoom in and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to be using as the demo these 4-inch square, what are these called? Square and a square design, because it's real simple and it'll be fast. And I can even do a couple for you as a demo. I did this one 5 minutes ago, literally 5 minutes ago. And the fun part about this is you can switch. So you could do solid in the middle and your design fabric on the outside, or white on the outside. I want to show you the pineapple quilt that I'm working on. And this is meant to be a long work in progress, because these blocks take longer to do. They're not harder, they just take longer because there's more pieces. And this is all paper pieced as well. So here's one row, and I just do a row at a time and then I add it. When I started this, I knew that this would be a project I could come to when I don't know what else to do with myself. Do you ever have those days? You want to make something, but you don't know what to do. You don't want to start some ginormous thing that's going to take 10 months to complete. And nothing else like small is satisfying. So this is what I do. And I keep these in a little plastic art bin. I should have brought that up. I bought these cute, flatter 12-inch box art bins. And I just keep my paper pieced quilts in there as I work on them. And if they take me 2, 3, 4 years to complete, I don't care. I can do 2 or 3 of these blocks in a sesh, like a Netflix sesh, and feel really good. You know, it's something that got finished and it's precise because it's not up to me as far as seam allowance. I just sew right on the lines. And that's why I love paper piecing, because it's going to give you an excellent result. As long as you're doing all the things like sewing on the line, like giving yourself enough fabric for the pieces. I never scrimp. I never try to make something small fit. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. You want to take your stitch length way down. So when I do paper piecing, I'm usually at like a 1.5 to 1.9 millimeter stitch, which is super tight. But I like it. It perforates the paper. And so then when the whole top is done, you can just rip off that paper really easily. And what I like to do is start with a scalpel, like in the middle, and just make a little notch. And then I stick my finger in and all of it comes out. All of that paper just flies right off. So it's not as bad as it sounds. You can do that anywhere, in the car, you know, on a road trip, in front of the TV, in front of the fire, whatever you want to do. Okay, so hi Kat. So hi Deidre. Let's get into this. What I'm going to do is probably switch back and forth between overhead bird's eye view and this view on the sewing machine. Let me get rid of this banner here. There we go. A little bit bigger viewpoint. Okay, so what I used for this pineapple quilt that I'm still working on are these It's So Emma pineapple paper pads. Let me show you what they look like inside. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not a representative. I just show you what I use because I like it and it's easy. So you're going to start at the number 1, right? You start there and then you just build out. And what's cool is it tells you what's next. 1, 2, it's opposite. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so you just keep doing that with your strips. Very, very simple. If you're brand new and you want to start with something a little less busy, look, geez, Tori, snore a little louder. You can start with the bigger chunks. I also have a free block that I designed on my YouTube channel. There's a PDF link that you can download and it's wide strips. And with that one block, you can make an entire quilt. And that was a few years ago, but I think I show mock-ups of finished quilts. Can't remember everything. Okay, let's get into this. I'm using a regular needle. I just use my standard is a universal chrome. That's what I like. And I'm using all-purpose Gutermann thread, like I do 99% of the time, basically. Okay, let's switch to the overhead view. If you guys have questions, just comment in the comment section and I will run through those towards the end. Since I don't have a camera person assistant. Uh-oh. What was that? No. Okay, let's see here. Hang with me a sec. For some reason. That's showing an old video. Huh. That is strange. I've never had that happen before. All right, let me try. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with that. That is so weird that an old video is showing up there. Sorry, give me just a sec. See if I can fix these scenes. If not, I'll just bring this camera in. It's not a big deal. But it's a bummer that I have a, expensive ceiling camera and now it's not. Nope. Okay, well, I guess we will just go with it. That video isn't even up on my computer right now, so I don't even know how that's happening. I apologize. It's showing correct, and then as soon as I switch to that camera, it's showing an old video that I shot a month ago. Wow. All right, carry on, right? What can you do? So this is my example that I just pieced. And as you can see, I'm using solids on the outside. What I wanted to make sure you saw is on this mistake piece, I was trying to make too small of pieces work and really, cutting it too close. And as you can see, now I've got a gap there. That's the paper showing through right there. And that won't work. I will have to unpick this fabric and start again. So what happened is my center square was too small. When you're building these, I give myself a lot of room because I know if there's a way to mess it up, I'm going to. So I do not cut my square 1/4 of an inch bigger than what it calls for. I cut it at least 1/2 inch, sometimes an inch bigger, and I trim the excess away after it's all said and done. So a nice trick is to hold this up to the light, just like this. This is what I do. I don't have a light box. I don't go to a window. This works in my old kind of darker on the darker side house, just holding it up like this. Now, if you want to use a light box, you can, but I just don't want you to think you need it. So right now I can see I've got plenty, right? Like this is way too big, obviously, but I'm going to take it to my cutting table here and just cut down a piece that's a bit smaller, easier to work with. I just eyeballed that. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. So what I want you to see is my edges are about 1/2 inch outside of this box line. And what I like to do, I just take a Elmer's School glue stick and I dab a touch. Look, that's all I use, just a touch. And I line it up again, just how I had it there, just so it holds it in place. Now, if you're fussy cutting and you want your fabric centered in the square and all that, you have to pay attention with the lighting, how you're placing your fabric down. And once you have it centered, just make sure that it's outside of the lines. You want plenty of room. So my other tool that I really like is this add a quarter plus ruler. It's a little different than the add a quarter ruler. See, this is the add a quarter ruler, and this is the add a quarter plus ruler. And what this does is it has like this beveled edge, and it's real thin. So I can come in here and I put my ruler up. We're gonna start with number 2. I bring it up to that line for number 2. Yeah, it's in focus. And I fold it over and I just press it down there because it's going to make a crease. Okay? And then I know that for the outer fabric pieces, I have to take it at least 1/4 inch further than that crease. I'll show you here. Let me cut out a little piece. Okay, so I just made that crease. Now I'm going to take, your triangle fabric, so the outer ring, and place it on here so that your crease is down here. I've got like 1/2 inch leeway space, right? And my piece is extra huge. So I know that when I sew right on this line and then end up pressing it up again, I'm going to have that whole triangle will be covered with fabric. I won't have any holes, gaps, or anything like that. So let's take this to the sewing machine. I don't pin it, I just hold it because it's very easy to just place it on the sewing machine bed. I am going to bring this camera in a little closer here. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to sew right down that line. Oop, my stitch is too big, I can tell already. Now, if you're beginning and you want to use big stitches, if they're just practice blocks, go ahead, it's fine. But the reason we take it down to those small stitches is so when you're pulling that paper away later, you're not ripping your fabric, you're able to easily get that paper off. I also start a little bit beyond the beginning and end. So what I mean by that is the line is just this wide, right? But I start here and I finish over here. That's a personal thing because I just like to make sure everything is caught. If it's caught twice or 3 times, I don't mind. Now this will be harder to show. but I'm going to place this on my cutting table. You know what? We'll just move the cutting table over here. I'm going to place this on my cutting table and trim it away. So each time you sew a seam, you do end up trimming it as you're going. And then at the very end, you trim the whole block, and it ends up so cool. So it builds right before your very eyes. So, so easy to just carry on. So when I'm laying this down, I fold it over from the seam where I sewed. I lay my 1/4 inch plus ruler. It has this really nice 1/4 inch section here, and it's got a little ridge. So it'll butt right up to that sewn seam with that ridge. And I know that this is exactly a 1/4 inch, and I just trim all that away. If you don't have this ruler, just use your acrylic clear ruler, measure, 1/4 inch from your seam and trim. I didn't have that until just last year, so that's new to me, and I love it. So then I fold it back up, and there's the first step. Now, some people just press this with their fingers and they carry on and they're fine. It just depends for me on the intricacy of the block, whether I take it over to the iron or not. I like to press a lot. So there's one piece. Now, as you can see, I cut this very, very big. So right now I'm just going to trim it a little bit down so it's easier to hold and manage while I add the other triangles. Okay? And I just keep doing that all the way around. And then at the end, it gives you the final trim line, and then your block is done. And then you just sew your blocks together like a normal quilt top. It's that easy. So I'm super bummed that I can't get that dumb camera to work. You guys are going to think I'm technologically insufficient, but I'm not. It was working. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, maybe I have a poltergeist up in here. All right, I'm going to carry on to number 3, and then number 4 and 5, I'll be done in a jiff. It's good for you to know that I have a complete edited video for paper piecing with that original block that I designed on my YouTube channel. It's a couple years old, but I've had a lot of people email me that they couldn't really get paper piecing in their head until they saw that. So it's encouraging. I try to explain stuff, for, I don't know, how do I say that? I try to explain stuff as it's to the person who's not experienced. Isn't that how everything should be explained? I don't know. Okay, there's number 2 or 3. That's piece 3. Number 2 of the triangles. And I'm just going to trim it down so it's easier to hold. Remember when you're placing your fabric, solids are easy. I love working with solids because they're so forgiving. If you're using prints, you have to make sure when you're sewing these that they're right sides together. Because when you flip them up, you want the right side to show. Does that make sense? So, with my pineapple quilt, I'm working with all solids. And to me, there's really not a wrong side of a solid. There is, but in the scheme of things, if I messed up, by the end of the quilt, I'm not going to notice that, so I don't care. All right, let's do 4 and 5. Yes, all the scrappy pieces. I have a jar, and I just keep all the scrappy bits within reason so that I can do these little paper pieced blocks for easy sewing. I turned my machine on quiet mode, but it doesn't seem that much quieter to me. Now see, this is how this one went on. So I'm going to fold the paper down It folds very easily because you sewed that seam. And then I'm going to trim the excess away in just a second with my at a 1/4+ ruler. Okay. And then what I like to do is hold it up to the light and check, make sure I got everything covered. And I do. Ooh, I cut that by accident. That happens too. Don't be hard on yourself. Listen, paper piecing took me, I would say, a couple of projects to just not have to think about it anymore. Now it's just like second nature. So it's kind of like riding a bike with 14 wheels and 2 sets of handlebars. Once you get it, you're golden. But at the start, you're just, if you feel confused and like, what is happening? That's normal. I think it's normal. But then you'll get there and then you'll be browsing Etsy for all these cool paper piece patterns. And off you go. Just a whole nother thing. Whole nother world for precision. And cool designs. Like there are chocolate chip cookie blocks and gingerbread men blocks and candy canes. And, you know, I've talked about some of my friends before that design these paper piece blocks, like Amy Friend of During Quiet Time, Jo June and May. She's on Etsy. Ingrid. Gosh, there's a whole bunch more. But, you know, I can't remember anything anymore as far as names or why I went into a room. So don't ask me. Just Google it. So there she is. That was fun. So then you have to, you know, just a 2-color quilt would be so. I forgot to bring up my 2-color quilt. It wasn't this design, but it was a, I don't even know what that shape would be called, like a Moroccan tile design. And I just used 2 colors. I used an off-white snow of Kona and a gumdrop. And it's really striking. One day I'll get the papers off and finish it. So then, oh, I forgot to trim this guy down. The outer edge has a final trim line, and you just trim your block down so that you can attach them together just like normal quilt piecing. So now they're the same size. And just proceed as normal. So I would put this, match these edges, and sew together with a 1/4-inch seam. You can pin when it's just 2. I don't feel like I need to pin. And then there they are. And they're kissing perfectly. The points match perfectly. Sometimes I have troubles with points and, you know, on flying geese, they can get cut off easily. But with paper piecing, you're golden because you just sew right on those lines. So that's it. I so wish I could have gotten that ceiling view. Sorry about that. But again, just remember to give yourself plenty of room. Start with an easier design. There are log cabins, pineapples for these geometric quilts, which I think are super striking. And then again, if you just do a search on Etsy or Google for paper pieced patterns, you'll find a whole plethora of them. Hi Clovis. Thanks, Debbie. Like I said, you guys, the full edited video is on my YouTube of another block if you want to see the overhead view. So sorry about that. Okay, let's move on. One more thing before I let you go. I have had so many shipments and packages coming in. And one of the things that happens when you're a shop owner and you're ordering from all over the world is sometimes things get lost in translation. So a lot of you were waiting on the soft vinyl in gold. And instead I got this, and it's beautiful. So we're going to roll with it. It is a white with rainbow essence. Help me name it. What should I call this? I almost thought like white unicorn, but I think everybody has unicorn in their names. So as far as businesses I follow, so maybe help me name this and I'll pick somebody to get a free piece. So I've already reordered the soft gold. It'll be here soon. And that's all I'll say. I love them. My suppliers are great. You know, we're just humans. And also what came in is the original, ooh, that's a nice name, Kat, Opal Iridescence, that's pretty, this is the original Seafoam, and this is like their new color run. Let me open these up and I will show you. This is how big the pieces are. They're 18 by 56. I say that in all the listings, but people miss it. So these are not small. These are not 8 by 11 pieces like a lot of people sell. This is a big, big piece. So this is the new color run. This is the original Seafoam. So the way I've listed them in the shop is original and new Seafoams. Okay, so you can pick which one you like better. As you can see, this one is a little bit more blue and a little brighter. And the original Seafoam is slightly more green, but pale, soft. So I will be carrying both of them. I've already told them. Keep running them both. And then the last one I have to show you is the silver. I brought it back because you guys asked for it. And this vinyl, remember, it sews like fabric. Scrunchy. I have tons of tutorials. And I have a video on YouTube showing you all the different colors. And it's just so easy to sew. Have any of you sewn with it? Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't need a Teflon foot. You don't need a heavy duty machine. It's just like fabric. It's so amazing. I love it. So luminous. Oh, I love it. Let me click through these comments really quick because you guys are so sweet. I appreciate you showing up for me. Next week will be the last live for a couple of weeks at least, just so we all can have a Christmas break. I will say I'm going to do a Zoom live call on the last Sunday of the month, which I believe is the 26th. So if you want to get on that, the link will be in my weekend emails. They come out every Sunday. So the link is in there and you're welcome to join. We just show stuff we're working on and it's like a group chat, you know, it's fun. Yay, Deidre has a bunch of these. Girl, get busy. What is the name of the quilt block on the quilt hanging behind you? This is the economy block. It's called the economy block. It can be traditionally pieced as well, but I like the paper pieced version because it's spot on. It's correct every time. You know what I mean? Love it. Oh, there's Erin. Are you almost here? Beautiful curtain, super fast. Oh, yay, you got your Ruby Star 10. Good, yay. I have some more surprises coming up next week regarding Ruby Star 10s. We just did a run of the lunch pails. Those are gone. I can't get any more of those. But I've got another version coming at you soon. So be watching. I should probably put that in the email Sunday. First dibs. Oh, the add a quarter plus ruler. Yes, it's very handy. Elizabeth, I almost forgot what day it is. Tell me about it. The other day I said 2020. And what? I don't know. It's just this time of year always is kind of frantic and crazy. It shouldn't be, but it is. So great with all the scrappy pieces. I can't let go. Exactly. Ooh, almost sneezed. Yeah, I'm not a crazy scrap keeper, but like these chunks, I'll keep these in my I have a pink cart on wheels and I throw it in there and then I can just paper piece with a lot of it. Let's see. So visual person, Debbie. Aren't we all, Debbie? I have to have a visual. I actually have to have a demo, hands-on, and do the thing. Or else I'm just, what? Yay, Stacy. I can't wait. You've been cranking out those quilts. I cannot wait to see what you do. Effervescence. I love that word. I can never spell it, but I can't spell a lot of things correctly, which is weird because I'm a great reader. Opal iridescence. Oh, sugar rush. Oh, I like that. That's real simple and easy. You guys are so good. I'm going to have to contemplate this. Bridal veil. Ooh, like it. Pastel iridescence. I like that too. Oh, you're so good. Yep, silver's in, Elizabeth. Woo woo. I should have put on my silver skirt that I made with this vinyl. That's how soft this is. I made a maxi, what's it called? Wrap A-line. Oh, think poodle skirt back in the day. Think like that, but I made it in this silver. I love it. I wear it with red tights and leopard boots. And let me tell you, I feel good. I feel good. Okay, I think that's it. Let me see. Oh, well, good. And I'm sort of trying to make a list. I think I'm going to hire an assistant to do this. Anything that doesn't have a video regarding my patterns or my tutorials, it's being worked on for videos because I really like having those visuals for people too, especially when you're new. I just started knitting and crocheting and I realize how important it is to have a visual camera, not a still photo of something. It's just, you know, a video is worth 1,000,000 words if a photo is worth 1,000. So I'm on it. Okay, you guys, I guess that's it. 32 minutes. Thank you for hanging out with me on this Friday. I will see you next week. I'm going to have some more guests coming on with different projects because they're the experts. And I want to have experts for you, right? And I'll be here too. So we're working on a dual screen thing because one of my experts is a crochet artist in Portland. And I love her, Selena Baca. And I want her to show us how to do a really fast, easy project. I'm all about less than an hour projects. Are you? I mean, I really like that. Especially if you're with your family for the whole Christmas holidays or whatever, and you just kind of need a break and you want to make something with your hands, you could lock yourself in the bedroom and do that. So, just kidding. All right. I will see you guys later. I hope you feel good. Don't be afraid to email me if you have questions, Natalie@SoHungryHippie.com, and be looking for the email on this Sunday. I've got something big dropping. Well, kind of. I don't know. Maybe you won't care. It's big to me. All right. I'll see you later. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Bye.